Town Atlanta. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Atlanta Falcons. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
You're outside. 45. Check right 45. Check pass. Check pass.
Darnold on first down. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up second down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how.
Under pressure now, Darnold, and he goes down. Luke Kuechly, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive. As it'll begin in enemy territory already. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Man, that's trash. That's trash. Big trip.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And some space to move right away as he's all the way up to the 30. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Next receivers, they'll spread the defense out, and they were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short.
Ready. Mike's by 4. Let's go. Ready, go. Let's go.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
That's all you got. 4th down and 1.
Smooth. Right there. 54, right there. Let's go.
On 4th down, McLaughlin. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge.
After the interception, here's Darnold, and he's got it complete to Anderson. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Open man is Robbie Anderson.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
On first down, it's Darnold, and his throw's going to be incomplete. Tyler Lockett was the target there, and that'll bring up second down. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Rush in! Rush in!
From the 50, it's Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Vic Beasley has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. Here's Darnold. He's got his man. It's Andrews. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a third down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little game. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 36. I think everyone in the stadium saw that big hit coming.
And I, as a former defensive back, have to admit I'm a little disappointed. He actually was able to hold on to the ball. He brought the lumber on that play. Give my man a whole lot of credit for taking the hit and possessing the football.
And picking up the first down. On first and 10, Darnold. Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. To throw again on second down. Darnold is complete to Lockett. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Darnold going to lead the offense up first and 10. And he's 6 of 7 now on this drive. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. Give the tackle there to Keon Crossan.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6. We're scoreless after 1. And for the Falcons, 5 men in the secondary, now on third. Now it's Darnold. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
The kick by Joseph is good. And the Seahawks grab a 3-0 lead. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away, but they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Right back to him on first down. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And we'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Leo!
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Hey, high 7. 54, right there. 54, Mike. I'm here all day. 5.
Looking to throw. McLaughlin. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will tie us at 3-3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration, now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. What do you think they'll do?
Well, number one, they'll turn to their self-scouting report. And every team that's any good does this. They have outside groups. Check out their team, scout them, and tell you who can play, who can't play, and reasons why. Some of it may just be health. They have to get some guys healthy and back out on the field. But overall, evaluate this squad and make the changes that you need to.
They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll run it now out of the gun. He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
The Seahawks on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap for Darnold. And he's got Lockett. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 11 yards there and a first down for Seattle. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Play action. It's Darnold. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. First down, Seattle, 16 yards, the gain there.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
You get block me. You get block me. You get block me. Ready? Lucky. And 58's the mic. 58's the mic.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Trying the power game with Ham. He fights forward for a couple with a penalty flag down. And the linemen, they're already walking back. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, he can't hold them.
After the run, now Darnold to throw. He's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Greg Joseph on for the extra point. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. A run there on first down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. Robert Kimdichie, the one to bring him down. Our score 10-3 with 2 minutes remaining in quarter number 2. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Hey, lock it. Check. Crunch.
2nd and 9 now. He completes it to Julio Jones. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Julio Jones, 40 yards, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point splits the uprights, and that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. All level now at 10 apiece as the kick's away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
At their own 24-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together, could get in the field goal range. Let's see what happens.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Robbie Anderson, the man he was looking for. And now it's 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
And 10 yards to go.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. A play fake, and it's Darnold. It's caught. Lockett. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Darnold now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on first down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Darnold. That'll be taken in by Anderson. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
On first down, Darnold. A short throw caught by Andrews. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size, can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Again, Darnold. Looking middle, and it's incomplete. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. It actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Check. Here we go.
2nd down and 10, Darnold. Flushed out right. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Deion Jones, the linebacker. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Well, I get what he was trying to do. He was moving to his right and trying to shift the coverage, but instead he shifted the coverage also to the right and threw right into it for an interception.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3.
Come on, let's go. Hey, Sam off.
2nd and 3. Flush to his right. He completes it to Jones.
Let's go.
So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. Now this throw caught left side. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Ito Smith, his first carry. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Come on, set. 70, Indy. 61, matchbox lights. Hit it.
On 3rd and 2, McLaughlin being chased out left. He may try and run for this. When in doubt, do it yourself as he keeps it for 3 and a first down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that first down now. I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. Throwing on first down, McLaughlin. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Coming to you. Tight dog. Check 43. General West.
Off play action. McLaughlin. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Olivier Vernon. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A one-handed catch, that's one thing, but with a defender right there, that was a heck of a play.
It used to be that one-handed catch was instinctive in a game. Now it's a practiced move. They work on it before, after, during practice sessions. It becomes part of their repertoire, and it pays off.
Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort him in, and they couldn't create any kind of space for him, could they?
Yeah, didn't get the push they needed.
22-jet bomber, 22-jet bomber. Kill! Come! Shoot!
Staying on the ground, this time it's Smith. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Ito Smith, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to regain the lead. A close call here. Did the ball cross the plane? I don't know. From the naked eye, this was tough to tell.
Always difficult when there's such a tangle of bodies around. You're just trying to find the ball and make sure just a portion of it crossed the plane of the goal line.
Mike 54. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Yep. 6 guys. Check 6 guys. Ready?
They'll try to run this one in. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown as they have taken the lead.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times that's a passing play.
And the kicker, this has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
Now this one complete on the slant route. And out across midfield down to the 45. 22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Darnold throw on the money to Anderson. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
58 to Mike. All day, baby, all day. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Hey, lady.
They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Darnold. Looking left side. Andrews with it complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on third down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down.
It's now fourth down.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. Darnold a sneak, and he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on fourth down. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up 1st and goal. I tell you, they didn't give it to him much for the first 3 quarters, but when they have, he's been efficient. Maybe they ride him more here down the stretch.
Yeah, not sure it was actually in the game plan for him to have as few carries as he has, but it might play out really well for them now. As you noted, they want to ride him down the stretch. He should.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They get the crucial turnover, just huge, but now they've got the football deep in their own territory, and you got to be careful because if you give it right back, there goes your lead.
Have to be extremely happy with their defense. They received a gift. That takeaway, even though they're deep in their own territory, now they have the football. And you know there's always that alpha on defense, that grouchy guy. Forget what the coaches said. I'll guarantee you, he told the quarterback, we just took care of you. Now you take care of us.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Here's a quick hitch route and the throw complete. 7 yards there and a first down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through all that traffic and people wanting to put a little contact on him. Really well done.
X3, 218, chop.
A first down throw, Darnold. And Anderson's got it. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. First down, Seattle, 16 yards, the gain there. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Darnold completes it, and he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A gain of 6 there on first. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete. And the Seahawks on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. And Jennings has it. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 37.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The intended target there was Jason Kroom, and it'll bring up third down.
Let's go, defense. Out of time. Ready?
To the air again, Darnold. Open man is Kroom, the tight end. And this play comes to a halt at the 33, and obviously that's well short of the first down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now it's Darnold. He'll get the first down. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. And they're not able to convert on fourth down. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with one more plus the 2-minute warning, and we'll be back. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is third and long. Back to throw. McLaughlin. And it's complete. Hooper. 21 yards there on third down. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Greystone, travel. Big rip.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Let's get off the field, G. Here we go.
So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Running game working, they'll stick with it on first down. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball.
He's coming. We got double up.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
70, Indy. Check.
Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The 22 is the line to gain here on third down.
I'm coming after you. Check 3. Check.
You draw Falcons. Go out.
Looking to throw. McLaughlin. It's caught. Jones. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 15-yard line. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
It also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And it wasn't really always pretty. They had their bumps and bruises. Really, both sides did. But they did what they needed to do at home to get the win.
Yeah, they really had to grind this one out, didn't they? Because nothing came easy. Every snap was a major league brawl. They had to win at the line of scrimmage, win downfield. They got all those things accomplished. But to win a close one like this, you know, every team wants to be physical. We've heard that a million times, right? But those who are mentally tough, those are the teams that you have to deal with in the playoffs. This was that type of a game.
So for the Falcons, it's an 11th win of the year as they'll finish the regular season at 11-5. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for Seattle, this loss will be the capper to a dismal 4-12 campaign. And with some high picks coming in this spring's draft, it's a team for whom a roster overhaul may be on the way. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.